Well, hello, hello, hello. My name is Kay, and welcome back. Today, I would like to set up the skeleton spawner that we found in a previous video. I would like to go ahead and set that up as an XP spawner, as well as go ahead and get enchantments set up in order to get better gear and enchantments and things. I did a little bit of caving off camera. Well, I say off camera, I did record it. This is what I got while I was out caving. This is the haul, for lack of a better term. It was a pretty successful caving trip. I'm going to insert a montage of the mining trip here. Well, that's a find. Whenever exploring mine shafts, I do have a little bit of advice. Whenever I hit these sections right here or any sort of turn off, I always stick to the right. Like I mentioned before, it's the same principle as caving. You always look up because sometimes these extend up and there'll be more mine shafts up. But after I finish going down a corridor, this is the way that I came in and the way I want to keep going. I mark these off. Just, oh, okay. Now I still have room to jump over if I want to come back later. Like, for example, I'll come back later and get these rails, just not right now because I'm also caving in the process. But just marking it off helps you kind of keep track of where you are because they can be a little confusing and it's easy to get lost. I've done a little bit of animal breeding, cow farming. Also, in the meantime, just a little bit of chores mostly. I've got a little bit of leather, a little bit of meat in here. I don't want the rain. I've done a little bit of farming. I've got some leather here. Hopefully that's enough to, make some books, to get some bookshelves. I've got some sugarcane out here growing. I feel like it's going to be a minute before I have everything that I need for the enchantment table, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and head down to the bottom and setting up start setting up the skeleton farm. So I'm going to take down 2 buckets of water with me, as well as some wood, some iron. Like I've got, most of a stack of logs here, some wood, some iron, some stuff to make some extra tools, crafting table, and I'm going to take a furnace with me. I don't think I'll need the furnace, but just in case. So whenever you go to set one of these guys up, you want to dig them. You want to dig a 9 by 9 by 9 hole, basically. So you want to put the spawner in the center. You want to dig out 4 blocks in each direction from the spawner, as well as 4 blocks down and 4 blocks up. So right here, our spawner is on this Y level. So we are 3 blocks. So we need 1 more block up, 4 blocks down, and then 1 more on this side and 2 more on this side. So I'm going to dig that out and I'm going to show you it real quick. All right, here we are back. I have dug it out as a 9 by 9 box. As you can see here, there's 4, 4, 4, 4 on each side. We are 4 blocks down from that, and that is 4 blocks up. Now, I went ahead and put a cobblestone pillar on top of the spawner. If you put a pillar of something up there, what it does is it keeps the mobs from spawning and landing directly on top of the spawner, and what happens is they get up there and they get stuck and they don't walk off because pathfinding. So you build the pillar up. Some people, I think, just put a slab on top. I like to go ahead and just put the entire pillar up. It's just a me thing, but it keeps them from getting stuck up there, and they come down and they drop into the water. Now, from here, I put 1 singular water bucket in each corner, and I'll show you here. It's just 1 water bucket in each corner, and it flows it straight down into the center here. Now, from here, we're just going to dig a tunnel down, and so I probably go a little bit further than I should. So I'm going to dig down pretty much until I can't see the fire here anymore. And then from there, we are going to staircase up. So I'm going to dig the tunnel, and I'm going to show you what I'm kind of looking for when I dig the tunnel. Okay, so here I have dug 11 blocks down, and you see there's still fire, which means I'm still within the spawning distance. Now, watching for that's kind of important. See, if I step right here, I don't know if you can see it. I think I'm still within the spawning sphere, but if I go down a block, it goes away. So just to be safe, I am going to go back up to 10 blocks, just to make sure that I'm well within my spawn sphere. And then from here, I'm just going to kind of dig out a couple blocks on the staircase up, which I actually need to make sure. Okay, so come back up right here. And here we are. Now I just have back access to my farm here. And then I'm just going to, for the purposes of making the farm, I'm going to dig a small staircase into the farm because if I don't, I won't have access in, and there's only one thing I need to do here, so I actually need to go down to finish. All right, so everything else for the farm will be done down here. I'm going to move this to right here and fill this slot back in. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to set up a small collection system, and I actually want it to drop right here. I want them to land right here. So I'm going to dig this out just a little bit. I'm going to drop a crafting table because I need a collection set up here. So I'm just going to quickly make 3 chests. I'm going to make 1 hopper. Just need 1 hopper. And that's a little bit frustrating. And so all you need to do, right there. So you just need the hopper and the 2 chests, and the hopper needs to be going into the chest. And we can check that real quick. Pause, it's in the chest. All right. Now I'm actually going to do a top down into the chest. And the reason being is you only want a 1 block gap right here for harvesting whatever is dropping. If you're doing anything that has a baby variant, so for example, zombies, you actually want a half slab here so the baby zombies can't get out. But this should be a decent drop chute. I can't get in there to see if I'm in spawning range, but I'm pretty sure I am. And so it'll just drop straight down onto this right here. Now this is a simpler variant of this farm. There's a way you can do it with a water chute to make them drop a little bit further. I'm going to have to do a little bit more effort to kill them in this current situation here. And then from here, I want to dig a little hole this way because I like to put extended storage down here. And like I said, I also want to put an enchantment table down here. I'm going to put the enchanter on one of these sides, and I'm going to put the storage over here. Because I personally like to keep the bows for dispenser making later. I want to put them somewhere so I can just not have to carry them around with me. But otherwise, as far as the actual farm itself is concerned, it should in theory work. And so all I'm going to do, I'm going to pop in here. Well, first I'm going to close this off. So this room has to be in complete darkness in order to work. So I'm just going to start popping off these torches. And I'm going to get right here. Pop off that last torch. Close it up and just come take a look. There we go. It works. And sometimes you gotta be a little bit careful. If you stand a little bit too close, they don't. Sometimes they can like still see you to shoot you. But yeah, there we go. Nice and simple. Takes a couple of hits, but it works. I've spent some time gathering up some sugarcane. I thought that they added the ability to bone meal sugarcane in Java Edition. Apparently, they did not. This slowed me down a good bit while I was waiting on sugarcane to grow. I spent some time fishing, but now I have the required bookshelves, which is 15, and an enchantment table, and I have my diamonds because that is the plan, is to do some enchanting. So now I'm gonna go run and find staircase that leads directly to the spawner, which it came out somewhere over here. Yeah, it came out right here. I'm just gonna go down and set this up. So the way you set up an enchantment table is you have to have 15 bookshelves. So you just want to, in a 5 by 5 area, you just want to kind of lay them out. Sorry, it's my feelings. Anyway. And that should get me a level, yeah, and that'll get you a level 30 enchanter here, which is the maximum level, which is what you want. Now I realize I forgot something very important. I forgot lapis, and I do have some, so I'm gonna go grab that. Okay, so now that that is fixed, I went and I got my lapis. I went ahead and fixed that to where it's more symmetrical because it looks nicer. I'm gonna go ahead and craft up a set of armor. I'm gonna craft up a set of tools, and we're gonna get those enchanted. We have our full set of gear all set up, and here I'm just gonna go ahead and get some lapis, list some inventory. And so the best way to do this is you want to kind of just cycle through. My favorite enchantment to look for whenever I'm setting up on whenever I'm setting up on an enchantment table is I like to look for Unbreaking, because I find that Unbreaking 3 tends to have the best chance to it tends to have the best chance to give you more enchantments, if that makes sense. I really should have brought some grindstones with me. The two things you need at your enchantment setup is you need a grindstone, and usually you need an anvil. I'm not going to need an anvil today, I don't think, and if I do, oh well. But you need the grindstone, because basically what you do is you come over here, you pick one that you want to enchant, see what you get. And I'm going to enchant this because it's Aqua Affinity. Basically, you pick the enchantment, you see what you get. I'm cool with that. I'll keep it. But if I wasn't okay with it, what I would do is I would take it over here, I'd put it in this, and it'll come out clean. So I'm just gonna sit here, I'm gonna enchant my gear, and get everything situated. So this right here is a good example. I know that I can get a roll from Unbreaking 3 with Unbreaking 3, either Fortune 3 or Silk Touch and Efficiency 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe that and re-roll it. I don't think just keeping Unbreaking is a good enchant. About an hour later, I think, of sitting here and farming XP, and I have a full set of enchanted diamond gear, including diamond tools. I have a Silk Touch pickaxe and a Fortune pickaxe, as well as a Silk Touch shovel and a decent sword. I think that was kind of the intent today, to get a little bit geared up, a little bit better geared up. Now I can, get a little bit more out of my ores, and I can pick things up a little bit easier. I would like to get efficiency put on this eventually, but for now, that's plenty good for me. The next thing, I think next episode, what we're going to do is I think we're going to try to get a couple of villagers set up, mostly a mending, maybe an Unbreaking 3 guy, and probably an efficiency 5 guy. Otherwise, I think that'll have a set, and I will see you guys next time.